Hello. Welcome to another episode of Read With Me. I'm so excited to be here with you. In the last video, we actually went into part 1 of chapter 7. I'm going to get into part 2 of chapter 7. And it was a really good. I think this might be my favorite chapter so far from this book, if I'm completely honest with you. It's so easy and it flows, and I like what it's talking about because it's something that I'm personally looking to improve on every single time that, what growing a business or trying to help others grow their business. Like this is the real stuff, you know? It's not just a sales call, it's a presentation. It's like you're giving it your all. So let's get into it, shall we? Here are a few more suggestions when it comes to the perfect pitch. This whole entire chapter is how to make your pitch perfect. Okay, here's a few more suggestions. Dress for success. Not long ago, I read a surprising article that examined a trend in which people age 50 and over were beating 20-somethings out of a job because the 20-somethings were showing up ill-dressed for their interviews in sloppy or skimpy clothes. Our culture has many of us believing that manners and dress don't matter anymore. A lot of young people just out of college see social media titans and other hugely successful personalities show up at a stockholders meeting in a hoodie and jeans, and they think that they can do the same when they pitch their product. After all, they're just keeping it real, right? But actually, they're not keeping it real at all. They're just taking a real chance. Once you're as successful as Mark Zuckerberg, then you can show up to important events dressed like the way that you like. Until then, it's important to appear at your pitches dressed in a way that it shows that you care, that you respect the people who have taken the time out of their day to meet with you. And if in doubt, dress up. You can never go wrong looking too nice, but you can go very wrong looking not nice enough. I am so with you, Lori. I love this so much. Remember to listen. You probably know more about your product and your market than almost anyone else. But that doesn't mean you know everything. Nothing turns buyers or investors off more than a know-it-all. Well, it is admirable to stand firm in your convictions, and you should take every opportunity to offer evidence that supports your claims. Don't dismiss buyers in their questions or concerns. They have experience and insight that you do not have. So if you come across a combative, arrogant, or hard-headed buyer or a buyer that sees you, that you're unwilling or incapable of listening to them during a pitch, they're not going to want to work with you. Like, it's just not going to matter how amazing they find your product. There's always going to be another product that they can buy into to fulfill their sales quota. Sometimes it's good to share the spotlight. Share the spotlight. In some cases, you won't be able to do the pitch yourself. As discussed earlier, some entrepreneurs just aren't suited for the public speaking. And so they should just bring in a partner to be the face of the product, even as they sit close by during the pitch and make themselves available for any questions. If you've hired a representative firm, they could pitch your product for you. It can be nerve-wracking to let someone else do your pitch, but how could anyone else be passionate about your product as you? That's why reps and distributors are usually paid a percentage of the amount of each order they land for you. It creates an incentive, making it as much in their best interest to woo buyers for your product as it is for yours. That doesn't mean you have to relinquish all control over your pitch. However, remember, you always need to be the driver of the bus. Even if you're shy and you've hired a rep to pitch for you, accompany the rep to the presentation. Speak up when and if needed. No one knows your product better than you do. That's strong. I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. It's like, I'll just share this with you guys. So in our company, Ivy Leads, we have an affiliate program where we actually pay out 20% of every single new person that signs up for the CRM. And what's really powerful is that they get passive income every single time that someone locks in and they actually are paying for the CRM, which is a service, which is a platform that they can use to grow their business at a very minimal cost. They're getting residual income if they get people on board. We take care of everything else, the support, the tickets, the different ways of supporting them, the information, all of that. And what's really powerful is like we're seeing a whole new dynamic between, the people that are actually using the product and the people that are promoting the product, because the product itself is sells on its own and you can get it, right? But it's the people that you're actually connected to and how they support you and the enthusiasm and the passion behind it, that's the difference. And the best people that are currently like literally making thousands of dollars per month just off this product that I'm sharing with you, they are just sharing the benefits of the product to their audience. They are not doing the service. They don't have to show up on calls. They don't have to do any of that, which is amazing. Like, I wish I knew about this before, but now I'm in a position where I'm grateful enough to actually be in the position to offer that. So I love how the world creates its own opportunities, right? All right, so let's get into the pre-pitch prep. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in that, make sure to check out ivyleads.com. Anyways, your prototype is perfect. Take a good hard look at your prototype. Is it exactly what it should be? Is it perfect? Not. Is it perfect and it's perfect except for that teeny little detail you wish you had thought of previously kind of way? I mean, is it perfect in that you look at it and you smile and you think this is perfect? If so, you're already ahead of a lot of other inventors. In fact, you're avoiding a common mistakes that I have personally committed in the past. We as inventors, we're very passionate people, and sometimes, especially once we've enjoyed a little success and are feeling more confident, we can get so excited about a new idea or product that we can't wait to start sharing it with our buyers. So when we can get the ball rolling under it, it just goes really quickly. Yet every time I have let my enthusiasm get ahead of me, I've regretted it. And I'm with you, Lori. I'm feeling the same exact way. Okay, several times I have been so eager to start sharing new ideas at QVC that I have pitched them before they were actually fully flushed out. And I've learned that you should always make sure that the design and the prototype are perfect before revealing it. Don't show it before it's ready to blow your one and only chance to make a good impression. Your props are ready. Make sure that you've got everything you need to make an unforgettable demonstration. If you need to build a doorway to show you how your product hangs off of it, build a portable doorway. If you need to demonstrate how well your product cleans, devise a portable bathtub, kitchen floor, stovetop, as Aaron Krause did to show that his scrubby sponge was unparalleled at getting the gunk off delicate surfaces. Whatever it takes, do it and do it right. Don't skimp. This saying is true. You have to spend money to make money. Always go out of your best foot forward. Always go out with your best foot forward. You get one shot, so make sure it's perfect. You set your goals. So you're confident that your prototype is in its absolute final perfect incarnation, and you've got your props ready to help you demo your invention. You're ready to start pitching, but there are millions of retailers and buyers out there. Where to begin? I always had the theory that it was best to go with the biggest retailers with the most stores. For that would get me the highest amount of purchase orders in the shortest amount of time. Not every retail outlet will be appropriate for your product, but don't eliminate retailers because they're too small or you don't think they have the appropriate cachet. Don't worry about the cachet. Get in the door and be grateful that anyone who is willing to take a chance on you. Do what you must to get your start. Don't let anyone take advantage of you, but you should be willing to put up with a lot in order to get your foot in the door. It's a right. And she spells this R-I-T. It's a rite of passage we all take. Realistically, you may know that it's unlikely you're going to get a multi-million-dollar contract with a large national chain right out of the gate. But at this point, it's unlikely that it's not impossible. So go big, go fast and furious. Here's what I say all the time. Cast a wide net as you can. Don't be intimidated. Knock on every door, call every phone number, and write to every email address that you can possibly find belonging to a buyer that might be interested in what you're selling. I love this so much. What have you got to lose? Well, everything. Don't let fear, laziness, or lack of persistence keep you from getting an audience with the people who are guarding the gates to your future. Here's my pen. That was so good. Do not turn down sales. A bird in the hand is valuable. I recently did a deal with 3 guys from New Jersey who had invented a simple plastic case that would keep flat paint brushes and rollers brushes wet. A paintbrush cover. No more furiously washing the brushes at the end of the day to keep them from drying out and getting ruined. The case keeps the brushes moist for months and months, is patented too. These 3 represented everything I look for in an entrepreneur. They were burning with enthusiasm. They flew out of California in the morning of their Shark Tank appearance. Instead of practicing their pitch or pacing their hotel rooms nervously, they went out and knocked on doors of a few hardware stores. And as they proudly declared on air, each one bought. It was with that sort of determination that I set out to get my first invention into every single retail store where it belonged. Every night after spending all day palling women on the street of Chicago, I sit with the book I had lugged home from the library. It cost about $1,000. It was called the Department Store Guide. And it was the best tool ever. I'd scour and select top stores I wanted to target. All of them were the ones that the largest number of stores. I'd make endless lists in my notebooks. I copied every relevant name and phone number I could find. My plan was to go big, so big that it might have seemed unreasonable for anyone but me. But my product was well suited for any store. So I was going to reach out every single one, beginning with the largest chains with the most stores. I was sure that if I could start selling into 4 to 5 top retailers in the country, I could make my entry into all the other retailers. You just need a few. That's so true. Like once you get that first sale, it literally snowballs into the next one, the next one, the next one, because it's the momentum. The momentum picks you up, just like Murphy's Law. You know, if it does come down, it can go up too. But at the same time, you are also in control of that. All right, here we go. Start with a fast pitch. I was sure that if I could get buyers on the phone for just a few minutes and give them a taste of my energy and excitement and how great my product was, they would be curious enough to agree to meet with me in person. My phone was equipped with speed redial, so every day I would start at the top of my list and call the first number. If no one picked up or I got the voicemail, I'd hang up and immediately redial. If no one picked up or I got to voicemail, I'd redial again. And if still no response, I'd wait an hour and hit redial again. I'd try every hour or so. I didn't want the individual to be irritated when he or she picked up, there was no caller ID back then. So that actually helped. The system was actually frustrating. It was boring, but it worked. This system was frustrating and it was boring, but it worked. She's talking about the fundamentals. She's talking about lead generation. She's talking about picking up the phone, or in our space, DMing, DM, and send that DM, send that DM, send that DM, connect. Sometimes it took hours, but someone would eventually pick up. And every time someone did, I hit the person with a brief yet extremely precise introduction, carefully scripted to pique his or her interest. Here's a script. Buyers are just like everyone else, busy, overscheduled with meetings, and stressed out about their sales goals. They don't have time to be interrupted unless it is by something or someone who will make their sales goals easier to hit, their workday better, and their bosses happy. So with every word that I spoke, I tried to convey the message that that's exactly what I had to offer. I knew there would be no time for introductions or for polite chit chat, though I was exceedingly polite. I had to capture that person's attention with one catchy, appealing sentence. So my opening sentence was, "Hi, my name is Lori. I have a revolutionary new product and you've never seen anything like it." If the person didn't hang up on me right away, I went on with what could be best described as a mini pitch. This is what she would actually say after that line. "It's the coolest earring organizer ever. It holds 100 pair of pierced and clip-on earrings and sliding earring stands. The stands slide to the left and to the right, one behind the other, and it takes up only about 9 inches of space on your drawer, on your dresser. I'm going to be in your city in the next 2 weeks. Would you have just 5 minutes for me to quickly show it to you? I think you would love it. I promise. I'll set my watch, and in 5 minutes, I'll leave if you want." I like that one. And it's always great. And I learned this from, I learned this, that if you're going to pitch something and they're in a different location, you should either set it up in the pitch itself to be like, well, on Monday or Tuesday, I can actually lock you in to make sure that we have time to actually go over the details of this particular thing, or if you're going to want to meet them in person, which is always better. I'm actually going to be exactly how she says, I'm going to be in your city in the next 2 weeks, even if you're not, make it happen. If it's really important to you, you'll make it happen. See how concise I was? No filler, no unnecessary information, nothing except the main things every buyer needs to hear before he or she will even think about giving you a chance to make a pitch. Number 1, that you've got a brand new original product people will love. These are the 4 main things that buyers will look for, especially on the receiving end. 1, that you've got a brand new original product that people will love. And then 2, that is exciting. 3, that you will be quick and easy to work with. And then 4, that you are ready to meet at their convenience. Take a close look at the words that I used. Each sentence was important. I have a revolutionary new product, which ties into the first part. It holds 100 pair, which is like a lot. It takes up only 9 inches. I struck their imaginations. I also said that there was nothing on the market like it. The trick is to be quick, likable, and assertive, but not aggressive. If a buyer's immediate response is no, you can reply with, I promise you this is different from anything you've seen before. So please, just 5 minutes. Actually, let me reread that. I promise you this is different from anything you've ever seen before. Please just give me 5 minutes. That's completely different than the first time. Stay polite and respectful at all times, and then stop. don't keep pushing, because then you'll become annoying. And no one wants to do business with someone who is annoying. If the person tells you to send pictures or information via email, say that the product will really come to life when he or she sees the real thing. You're always more convincing in person. You'll be too easy to dismiss if you're just one more blip in an inbox. So do whatever you can to get a face-to-face meeting. Here's the email pitch. Okay, here's the email pitch. I tell my entrepreneurs all the time that when calling a buyer, they should speak in short, quick, and precise sentences, because people are busy and won't listen past a few sentences. This advice holds true for email as well as phone pitches. In fact, often it may be more common for you to reach buyers by email than by phone, since that's how people communicate in business. But the process isn't that different. Your email should be short and concise. People don't read past the first few sentences, so grab their attention fast. You need to edit your emails. And again, before sending them out, edit again. So I do it, and I encourage my Shark Tank entrepreneurs to do it too. I'll write out all of my thoughts and then ruthlessly shorten them. No one wants to read through a whole bunch of stuff. Also, people love bullet points. If you want people to read your email, don't write a big run-on paragraph. There's nothing worse, and people will click away. I sure do. So do something in your email to catch people's attention and stand out. If you're comfortable with revealing your product, embed an image of it so buyers can immediately see what you're so excited about, or send an attachment or a link to a product page, especially to a YouTube video or a video on your website that demonstrates and shows the product so that they can instantly see why it's so wonderful. You might win them over in a few seconds. So that's what happened when a bright young college student named Angela from Boston was passed through to my website. After taking my Hero or Zero app test, she sent a quick, concise submittal with her idea for a makeup brush that opened in the middle and held 4 more brushes inside. She included drawings of the product. The email captured our attention instantly. I called her and we did the product together. I manufactured it for her. We launched it on QVC and it was a success. And Angela is still super, super happy till this day. At the rate people skim emails, the more you can reveal upfront, the more likely to grab their attention. You probably know this from experience. So when you're busy and in a hurry, it can seem like too much work to bother clicking open in an attachment or a link. Make it as easy as possible for your buyers to see everything they need to in one quick glance. People are glutted with information, so make your email short, memorable, and visually enticing. That said, try to capture a buyer on the phone so that you can actually use your power of persuasion. Emails are great for pictures, but not so good for expressing tone or emotion. I still believe in the power of a phone call and the live human voice. It is so supremely easy to delete or ignore an email without even opening it. Just because you don't recognize the name or the sender you don't like, or maybe it could even be the subject line, you just delete it. Most people, however, have to listen to the first whole sentence of a phone call before they actually determine whether or not they want to continue the conversation or not. So if your first sentence is powerful and intriguing enough, and it makes clear that listening might offer your buyer an edge at work, well, you might just get to finish your introduction and schedule a face-to-face meeting. Risk pays off, ladies and gentlemen. This is the final part of this chapter. She says, now, I was calling buyers all over the country and asking for appointments when I didn't have a single plane ticket purchased. But no one needed to know that. If a buyer sounded willing to meet with me, but was available the week I offered to come in, I'd tell the buyer that I had another trip scheduled 2 weeks after that. No matter what he or she said, I had an answer. I made it so easy for that person that the person couldn't come up with an excuse not to meet with me. If the buyer didn't want to hear my pitch, he or she was going to have it to flat out say no, but very few people did. There are probably a few reasons for this. Well, first, my product was easy to visualize. And what I was describing really was unlike anything that these buyers have ever seen. And then second, when you are polished, determined, and persistent, most buyers start to get curious. What if you're the real deal? What if you really do have the next big thing? What if? They don't want to miss out. And if your mini pitch is just right, they may have the reason to believe that you might just be worth a few minutes of their time. And if you got a brilliant product and a brilliant pitch, a few minutes face to face is all you need to seal the deal. As a result of those incessant phone calls and my tightly wounded pitch, I ended up traveling to 19 cities in 21 days. I was in Ohio one day, Texas the next, Arkansas after that. It was exhausting. And although I traveled as cheaply as possible, taking low budget airlines and many connecting flights, I knew I was risking a lot of money on flights to go to meetings that might not come to anything, but the risk paid off because ultimately most of the buyers I was fortunate enough to get a meeting with, they gave me a chance. Here's a pitch to-do list, okay? Here's a pitch to-do list. Get your perfect prototype, compile the contact information for every buyer at every intended retailer, write a cold call script that you can say quickly, write an email that will capture people's attention right away, know every detail about your product, be able to outline your product's features and benefits, be able to explain why it is exciting, brand new, original product that people will love, reassure them that you will be very easy to work with and make it so easy as possible for them to meet with you. Write a pitch that can answer all the questions buyers will likely ask. Practice your pitch over and over and over again. I loved this chapter so much. I really did. I really enjoyed it. By far my favorite chapter of this book. I can't wait to get into the next one. But there's something about someone that, you know, is persistent, like they have that hunger, they have that like drive. And it reminds me of like if you're the type of person, if you're watching this video right now and you're the type of person that believes in yourself and believes in the product, believes in what you got going on, and there's nothing that can stop you, this is what she's talking about. She was so ruthless. She was so committed and convicted into what she was doing that there was no option. There was no other option of like, maybe I can do this or that. No, it was this or this, you know? And that's how I guess a lot of people tend to burn out if they don't know what's driving them. If you don't know what's driving you, you won't have the energy to push and go into the marketplace and, you know, tackle all the rejection that's out there. But if you're like fully committed and you know what's out there, nothing can stop you. So this one's for you. I know this chapter hit hard for me, but I dedicate this one to you because I know that you deserve it. I know that you have something incredible that you want to share with the world. So make it happen. It's up to you. And the world deserves to know why you're so excited about whatever it is that you're excited about. So shout out to Lori. Good job on making chapter 7 so cool. And I'll see you in the next one where we will cover very quickly, what is it? Chapter 8 is a good one. The dream becomes tangible with manufacturing and packaging. All right. Let's go out there. Let's take it all in. And I'll see you in the next one. Talk to you soon.